Varun Saboo, the head of equities at Anand, Rathi Shares and Brokers, also joins us on the show. Varun, hi, good to be speaking with you. Your favorite ideas and themes right now in terms of stock-specific recommendations, are they largely tilting towards large caps, or the mid caps and small caps is still the space where you see more value?
Yeah, and thanks again, for inviting us on the show. This is a very interesting question. There's a very good time when investors really need to take an understanding on where they need to be. In our view, it's a great time to shift into larger caps. We have been very bullish on mid and small caps for a while now, but yeah, valuations on the large caps are getting very attractive. So the balance is right now not there, as large caps are are quite reasonable. I think it's a good time to look at themes in the larger cap space. We are very bullish on something related to consumption, anything related to consumption for that matter. Our key ideas in that space for us would be something like a Titan, something like a PVR, etc. So we are getting very positive with the consumption driven approach. We are also very bullish on the banking large caps which are there. So as you all were rightly mentioning on your show, HDFC Bank, ICICI Bank, extremely attractively priced. So there's a great time to look at these ideas. Larger cap space giving you so much opportunity, grab it, and corrections come by. Bull market corrections are severe, which happened yesterday, which we saw. But these are great opportunities to add rather than getting worried or panicking in there, etc. I think it was just a shake up, nothing else. It's a great time. One should invest and invest heavily in the markets.
Okay, so apart from a couple of financial large caps that you talked about, which other large cap names the investors should look at positively? Varun?
You're asking me, right? Sorry. So as I mentioned to you, Titan is one of the names which we are very positive on, which I think should consistently give a return. It's one story which will keep compounding at least at 20% plus CAGR is what we are seeing from here. We like Hindustan Unilever a lot. Hindustan Unilever has been consolidating here for a while now. Valuations have become extremely attractive. The stock which used to trade at 55, 60 times earnings at one point in time is now available at about, say, 43, 44 times, which is extremely attractive. Larger cap IT space is giving you so much opportunity where you have Infosys, which is available at a great price. You have even TCS for that matter is extremely attractive. So I think there's a lot of opportunity across the large cap space. I would probably, in my pecking order, to be more consumption driven. Second would be banks, banking large caps, and third would be, if anything, into IT space.
Varun, quite surprised that you're talking about PVR because, looking at the valuations, it doesn't seem like it's cheap. I mean, if someone did buy during COVID lows, yes, makes sense to hold on. But for someone looking at a fresh investment, would you still recommend a buy?
See, PVR Inox is more or less now commanding the entire market, right, with more than 50-55% share. And you're now seeing a lot of content coming in from Bollywood, which was the missing leg. If we talk about valuations, they've traded much higher multiples than what it is currently at. And one has to also keep this in mind that now the F&B part is also coming up significantly. The way F&B spends have been happening. So put together, it's turning out to be a very interesting idea. I think at about 20 times on FY26 earnings, it's a pretty attractive buy in my view.
How do you think IT is likely to evolve in the year to come?
See, I like to give one different perspective to this. We need to realize that it's an interest rate falling scenario. We are seeing US 10-year yields coming off. And generally, stocks across the globe IT stocks across the globe are now getting valued on DCF basis. So you clearly see the reaction happening in Nasdaq index. Nasdaq starts to shoot whenever yields are falling. And with the commentary from Fed coming that they are in an environment where rates are going to correct, where rates are going to come off, it's clear that their IT is going to do well. And in turn, we will see the same reaction here. Plus, what is happening is that if the scenario that changes to where Fed starts talking about cutting rates, their economy starts holding up. Where the worry was that they'll go to recession, it might be a soft landing. So we don't know how that shapes up to be, but at least the scenario is not as bad as it was 6 months back. So, and we have been seeing TCV still remaining strong for IT companies, things looking fine in terms of how the business was going on. Yeah, we will see a quarter or two muted, but that's okay. If we see on a 2-year basis, they have been reporting pretty healthy growth for that matter. So I think I'm very bullish on IT. As I mentioned, I would stick to larger cap IT names than the mid caps for now. But I don't see a challenge. I don't see corrections in the mid cap space, also in IT space particularly. And yeah, these new age IT names will do very well in this environment. So all of the names which you're mentioning, I had mentioned last time on the show that we're very positive on Map My India. So yeah, we remain bullish on that name as well.
In terms of the markets, though, what are the other big gainers? Adani Green has actually managed to take quite a bit of spike. There is a fundraising plan which is impending there. So probably the street is expecting big things out of there. And even Inox Wind, so renewable energy clearly is one space that people are betting big on. And JK Tyre, wherein there is a QIP which is expected soon, is something which is in focus as well. 3 to 4% higher on that one. Varun, the new buzzword, of course, is electrolyzer, semiconductor, and this renewable space. All of these new techs are seeing a very intensive capital action, as well as from the stock market point of view, there's high interest. Any names that you guys have done research on and find attractive?
Honestly, we are still working on this space, so we are yet to have a formal coverage on that front. But yes, this is a very exciting opportunity. Overall renewables, overall conductors which are coming up. So as of now, I can't comment too much on it. But yes, this is a very interesting space to be.
Manufacturing theme. I mean, one would have thought that Dixon, Amber, etc. have run up quite substantially already. Add to that list Kane, Sirma, SGS. But with the kind of order inflows and the policy action that we have seen, do you expect further re-rating of these counters, or do you think the best is priced in?
Yeah, I think all of these are extremely interesting names. These are all in a way related to the discretionary demand, which I'm talking about, the consumption side, which is there. So eventually, all of these will continue doing well. We are in a situation where India is just scratching the surface on all these fronts. If we see how things are changing, average PPP income of around 7% of Indians in 2005 used to be above $8,500. Today, that number is about 24% of Indians, as per 2018, which was the number, that above 24% were having this number. By 2030, we're expecting this number to be about more than 50% people having this. So these companies will consistently re-rate, in my view. This is the space where one has to be in.
Small role that.
Varun, the other thing that I also wanted to talk about, was the entire PSU theme in the market right now, and whether you believe that this is also part of the pack where the market may have run up ahead of its fundamentals. And in specific, I'm going to talk about defense, railways, and power.
So absolutely. I mean, if you see, these companies need consistency, right? Which I had spoken last time also. So when we see, so this is the second term which the government is already having, a clear mandate which this current government is having. And after the recent elections which happened, it's kind of showing that there could be a higher possibility of the third term also being there. I don't know how the results have been so far. So if there is continuity and if there is consistency in the government side, all of these PSUs have a particular visibility in how they have to run, etc. And that's what markets are rewarding. You're seeing that kind of ordering going to them. You're seeing that kind of visibility which is there in the companies now, where we know that these companies over a period of time are going to do well. Particularly if we talk about RECs, etc., they are linked to power. So power is something which is extremely deficit in our country, which we're going to see for the next 4 or 5 years at least to be a big opportunity. So all of these are going to do well. So I am pretty bullish on the PSU theme still, and this will continue to ride.
Point taken.